Yo, what is up, guys? ShinobiEevee here back again with another video for you guys. And today, if you couldn't tell by the title, we're gonna be talking about if Kazuha from Genshin Impact would be in Bleach, what his powers and what his abilities would be, and where I would scale him. I've done a couple other videos like this before. I've done with Sword Art Online. I did Kirito, I did Alice, I did Yu-Gi-Oh from the Alicization series. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, and I've also done a couple of others. I'll leave the links to a couple of those where you'll see them on the screen if you want to go check those out. But today we're doing some Genshin, and I heard that Genshin Impact, and I also saw the trailer because I watched the live stream. I heard that Genshin Impact is finally getting itself an anime, and I've already seen, who was animating it, and what better animation studios do it than Ufotable. They don't got no budget, bro. They got that money for real, bro. The animators probably don't even go home for real, working on the anime they got, bro. But for real, I really wanted to do this. I've been trying to work on this for a little while. It's pretty hard to do these, especially with Genshin specifically, because it's more like a game setting than an actual just anime. It hasn't had its own anime yet, so we couldn't get to see abilities or how characters would fight a certain way. We only kind of got the gameplay aspect of it. So it was harder for me to do this with Kazuha, especially since his style is more of a supporter role, or he could be even DPS than anything else. But his style is more supporter role, helping support the other elements in a team than more just all out attack. Though he could do his own attack, like I said earlier. He has his own busted abilities that he can do. But no, it's pretty hard to do this and without making him busted. Because with Kazuha, I feel like if he was in Bleach, just spitballing, off the top of my head, he wouldn't be weak sauce, but he wouldn't be garbage either. But that's besides the point. I'm about to explain that later. But if you guys do enjoy this video, then please hit a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna try to do a couple more of these. It's gonna be hard to do, but if you guys do enjoy these, if you leave a like on the video, tell me who you think I should do next. I'm pretty excited for Genshin to get its anime, and with Bleach coming back as well. Pretty excited to start doing more content like this. It's been a little while, and I'm excited. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this. Alright, and let's go ahead and get into it. So as far as his abilities are going, he's going to have a mastery of Hado, Kido, and Bakudo to a somewhat of an extent. So it's not going to be anything crazy, but I would say he's around captain to lieutenant level when it comes to using those. Those aren't his forte for sure, but he's not struggling like Renji was majority of the time with it. So he's going to be at least having a decent understanding of how those work and use some of the basic ones. Nothing like in the Hado's 90s level or anything like that, but basic stuff, He's also going to have a, mastery over Shikai and Bakai to an extent, but since he's still young, I would say that he doesn't have full mastery over it. I would say he's around Tosho's level, if I'm correct. Just doing what I was doing, I'm pretty sure I'd put him around Tosho's level when he first got his true Bankai. So when he got his adult form is where I put Kazuha as far as that. As far as swordplay goes, he's gonna have at least complete mastery in Zenjutsu. We've already seen his swordplay before in game, and it's crazy, bro. He's not gonna be no slouch when it comes to Zenjutsu. The man's gonna be going nuts. And considering how Sword Reapers work, they have to have a mastery of Zenjutsu at some point or another, just to get their Zanpakuto and even get into the school. So he's not gonna be slacking on that either. And on top of that, like I said earlier, he's going to have Shikai and Bankai. So, he's not slacking when it comes to swordplay or anything like that. Spiritual pressure, I'd have to put him around, captain level. Captain to lieutenant lower, I would say. Like I said earlier, he'd be somewhere around Toshiro's level. He wouldn't be weak sauce by any means, but he wouldn't be that strong either. He wouldn't be going crazy. He wouldn't be top 20 in Bleach, but I would say top 30 at least. Top 30, somewhere around there. But that's where I put him, at least his basic abilities or anything like that. So he's not gonna be no slouch. He's gonna be crazy. Most of his power is gonna be focused on offense, but he also can have some support roles, as we're about to see in a couple of seconds here. But that's basically his basic abilities right there. He's also gonna have some, obviously the ability to control wind. Hence why he has the animal element in Genshin. He's going to be able to control wind and do a lot of crazy stuff with that. And that's what we're going to get into is, Shikai and Bankai. So Shikai, which the sword he's going to be using is the Freedom Sword, aka the sword that everybody gives him. Because apparently that's the best sword you can get, which is from Mondstadt of all things, not even from Inazuma. But he's going to be able to have better control over wind element. similar to Toshiro's power over ice. He's got an increase in attack speed, movement speed, and also better reaction time. Summon tornadoes, control air currents, be able to shoot air blasts, similar to like kind of like Getsuga Tensho or something like that. Um, he's also gonna be able to fly. That's gonna be another ability he's gonna be able to use with his Shikai. We're gonna give him that. He's gonna be able to fly. And as for his Bankai, it's gonna boost all the abilities that he already had in his Shikai. And it's also gonna be called the Kagutsuri Ishin. And in order to release it, it's gonna be the chance gonna be fallen leaves adorn my night, which is one of his speech or texts that you'll find, which he says when he's in the middle of battle when using that ability. Another thing that it's going to be able to do is just going to allow for better range for his techniques, including the ones we're about to note below. So he's going to have three main techniques, which is Chiribaro, the Meteor Rising, and the Kazuha Slash, which we already know due to how his game works. So the Chiribaro in game would basically be him launching himself in the air using air elements or wind elements, and when he does that, it pulls his enemies towards him like a little bit of a funnel. So it's like a it's like the universal pull in Naruto. It's kind of like one of those, but he has to use the air in order to do it. It can be used for dodging as well, and he's also allowed to, when he's doing this, surround himself with air. So while he's in the air, which is when he's going to be most vulnerable, when using this technique before he can use it again, he can use the wind to be able to deflect any attacks coming at him, just in case somebody tries to sneaky attack him. Now, does it have no weakness? No. If he gets caught off guard, he will not be able to use this technique correctly, but otherwise, in a one-on-one situation, for the most part, he'll be able to get this off. And the ability will allow him to unleash a secret technique as fierce as the rushing wind that will be able to pull not only people or his opponents toward him, but also other objects towards his position before launching opponents within his AoE field where he's launching himself at, which will knock his opponents off balance and also lift Kazuha into the air using a rush of wind. It can also be used from faster mobility in the air and on the ground. So he can use this ability while in the air, on the ground, and he can also use this ability to propel himself off walls, off buildings, that kind of stuff. So he's got a lot of good mobility when it comes to that. Now, this ability can also be comboed into his second main technique, which is the Meteor Rising. So when he launches himself in the air and knocks his opponent off balance, which will pull him towards him, he can use his attack to basically, slam him into the ground using this. And he's going to be using wind elements also when using this. So when he lands, he's able to use a small wind tunnel or tornado, and it's gonna be crazy. And also uses a secret blade technique, which also pulls other enemies and objects in as well. So not only when he launches himself does he pull enemies or objects in, but he also uses it when he goes down as well. So most likely, if you're getting caught in this, your only choice is to block it or counter it with something stronger, which is the only other weakness when he goes in with this tech. Once he goes in with this technique, there's no backing out, there's no coming out of it, so he has to go all in with it. That is a weakness with this technique, or using the double version of it. So if he uses Chiribaro with Meteor Rising, he has to go all in. But if he's only using Chiribaro to maybe knock his opponent off balance, or try to get a better position on his enemy for something, then he's good. But if he's going all in with these two, then no, he's gonna have to go all in. So hopefully the opponent he's going against, he's at least stronger enough to take down or be able to get a decisive blow in, or at least catch his opponent off guard, which is the main reason why he uses these. Then off top of that, he's gonna have the Kazuha Slash. Now in the game, obviously it gets an AoE effect, which buffs any element that is inside, and also does wind damage or animal damage consistently. Now this was the hardest ability to try and figure out how it would work in Bleach, but the way I see it is it's something similar to Byakuya's Bankai, or the second what do you call it? What is that ability called when he goes with the circle? I cannot remember it. Okay, sorry about that, but yes, the ability was called Senkei. I just looked at it. I was hoping I said it right, but yes, it is Senkei. That was the ability that Byakuya used, where it created that basically huge arena of swords that Ichigo and Byakuya were fighting in when Ichigo first got his Bankai. So Kazuha would have an ability like that. Only difference is, unlike in Byakuya's where he didn't use the swords to attack his opponent, Kazuha would basically be able to use that whole arena to basically use the swords against his opponent. So he can use the swords against his opponent, and on top of that, he's going to be able to regenerate them at will since it's going to be created through the air. It can also be used as a defensive wall if you really wanted to. So if you really wanted to, you could use it as a defensive tool. Another thing that Kazuha is going to be able to do, and this is where support role is going to come in a little bit, is he's going to be able to amplify the attacks of any Soul Reaper that he has that is an ally or that he considers an ally while in the in the arena. So while they're inside that arena, any attacks that they do will be amplified. Their speed, reaction time, movement speed, all that great stuff is going to be amplified, including their senses. And on top of that, he's going to be able to control, more forces with the wind. So even his element is going to grow stronger while he's in that arena as well. And the only way for him to get knocked out of that arena is if he disables the arena himself, runs out of spiritual pressure, or gets weak enough to basically where he has to release it. So that's the only shot that they got really getting out of that. Otherwise, he's going to be going for the kill. This arena it's going to be dangerous, right? It's going to be a huge AoE ability, and it's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts for real. And like I said earlier, he's not going to be no slouch when it comes to speed, because this is going to boost his speed more than even when he was using just his basic Bankai stuff. When he uses his Kazuha slash, it's basically going to be a wrap. It's going to be a wrap. Unless you can just overpower him. That's going to be basically it for him. So, other than that, the ability would also be called Autumn Whirlwind, not Kazuha Slash. I just said Kazuha Slash because that's what it's named in Genshin, but in Bleach, that's what we call it. We call it Autumn Whirlwind. So, that's what we got for him. And on top of that, the Cheer Bar and Mid-Air Rising attacks would also be amplified. So, his two techniques that he used earlier be going crazy as well. So, yeah, no, other than that, that's pretty much it. It took me a little while to figure out how his abilities were going to work because there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. But at the same time, I wanted to keep Kazuha in character with his abilities that he had in Genshin, so I didn't want to make him too busted. I probably could have, if I really wanted to. I could have just gone on one hand with his abilities, But I wanted to balance him out a little bit based on how strong he was in Genshin, and I kind of wanted to throw him in Bleach. Like I said, he wouldn't be anything crazy. He wouldn't be doing no crazy stuff, but he'd definitely be a threat to be sure. So I say, like I said earlier, top 30 characters in Bleach. So, without further ado, I think that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, these are usually fun to do. It's been a little while since I've done them. Leave a comment down below, like the video if you want to see me do more. Let me know who you guys think I should do next. What other characters you think would do pretty well in Bleach. I know there's a lot of characters that use bows, so Quincy abilities are definitely on the table. Let me know if anybody's a Bleach fan does come across this video, if you guys are hyped for the 1,000-Year Blood War, or if you're a Genshin fan, how hyped you are ready for the next banner that's coming up. And on top of that, how hyped you guys are for Ufotable doing the, animation for the new Genshin. So, no, without further ado, that's pretty much going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and this is going to be ShinobiEevee signing off. I'm out of here, and hope you guys have a good one. Peace.